evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the only podcast featuring the guy that bleeds black and orange. You know, a lot of people didn't know this, but his tears actually cure cancer. But the problem is he's never cried. The one and only Jake Rutledge.
Man, you're gonna have to warn me when you throw this stuff out there. I mean, you catch me off guard, and I come in laughing every night we do this. So, now, hey, man, looking forward to this one. This is night number 2, touching base with head coach Farold Smith of the Crooked Oak Roughnecks and a couple of his athletes, Pablo and Daevion. First of all, man, thank you, all three of you guys jumping on. Sorry it's a little late, on a school night, but we had a pretty good softball game down in Davis this afternoon late. It actually went into extra innings, so ended up getting a win on that deal. So congrats to the girls once again. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, hey, thanks for jumping on with us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
So hey, before we get started, Coach, I actually forgot to tell you about this part, but we've got to determine one thing, and that is, do you know more than Jake Rutledge? So if you've watched the show, you know what's about to happen. We're gonna, and I promise you, we're not gonna give you any crazy questions. We're not gonna try to catch you off guard, but we're gonna have fun with this one. Okay, are you ready?
All right. Yep.
So this is how it works, Coach. In order to determine if you know more than Jake Rutledge, we're gonna ask 3 trivia questions, and you're gonna be given the opportunity to answer, and Jake's gonna be given the opportunity. So question number 1, if the assistant captain of a sports team were to die, who would lead the team? Coach, you answer first.
I believe it would be your captain.
Jake, agree or disagree?
Yeah, if the assistant were, something happened to the assistant, I think the main man would take over.
Okay, so that's got to be coffee Coach is drinking, because he's definitely on his toast tonight.
Yeah, we'll call it coffee.
Okay, next question. Jake, if there are 8 oranges in a bag and you take away 2, how many do you have?
Got to be 6.
Okay, Coach, agree or disagree?
I would disagree. I would say if you took 2, you'd have 2.
Coach, are correct. You are correct. Okay, and last question. What is the answer to this question? Can either one of you guys answer it?
What's the last? Okay, you said the last question. What's the answer to this question?
What is the answer to this question?
I have no idea.
Jake?
No question.
What?
What? Just what?
What? Gotcha. That was good.
Come on, man. Golly.
Coach, you beat him. You beat him.
Good. That's all that matters.
I'll tell you. No, hey, seriously. So we'll touch base on the 2021 season. You guys had a rough season, 1-8, but you do return a ton offense and defense. I believe 11 starters offensively, 10 starters defensively. So talk a little bit about what you got coming back, Coach, and experience goes a heck of a long ways, especially at the high school level. Just talk about what you got coming back offensively and what you guys might throw out there, final week of the season against the Leopards.
Well, I mean, just to back up, like 2021, it was a tough year, but it was all of our first year, just getting to know each other. We started off the year with the victory, and then it was tough after that. I mean, Daevion, he was our quarterback last year, went down in week 1. I don't think we got him back to week 5 or 6. So, that's tough to win without your quarterback in a new offense, a new system. So there's still a lot of, underlying things. Pablo played quarterback for us for a couple games. The first week that he's supposed to come play quarterback for us, he ended up getting hurt, so he didn't get to play the first time he's supposed to play quarterback. But bumps and bruises caught up with us this year. Having everybody back, it's been really good. Our defense was really good last year. It doesn't look like it in the stats, but our defense was really good. Our offense put our defense in a lot of bad situations. And I think you'll see a huge improvement on our defense this year just because of what we can do offensively. I don't know if that makes sense, but the ability to control the ball and move the ball and get first downs is going to help our defense out a lot. Return all those starters. The only starter that we lost last year was the lone senior, and he just played a little bit of Mike linebacker for us. He didn't really play any offense for us. So having everybody back and having that experience and the leadership that we have, it's going to go a long ways this year.
Yeah, that was kind of my next question, Coach. With that big number coming back, what they were, were they, was it sophomore heavy, junior heavy, senior heavy, just kind of what you have there returning in those starters.
It's kind of a combination of it'll really be now seniors and juniors. That's a majority of our team. Although we have a lot of sophomores that played as a freshman, as freshmen that will be key for us too. But majority of our big playmakers are seniors and juniors this year.
Yeah. And that goes a long ways, man. I mentioned it right off the top, the experience, and Daevion with you, you're a preseason top 100 top 100 player. Read up on you quite a bit. I'm a big guy. This Oklahoma Pigskin preview had nothing but good things to say about you in there. You had you listed 6'3", 185 pounds. What offensively playing quarterback? Is there any particular quarterback out there you try to mold your game after?
If I had to pick one, it'd probably be Cam Newton.
Okay. So like Cam Newton, he wasn't afraid. He was a pocket passer, but when that pocket breaks down, he could step up in that pocket, take off, and deliver a blow himself. He wasn't afraid to take a shot. So might be seeing you running around a little bit. Just basically an athlete is what that boils down to, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha. Another guy I kind of wanted to talk about here. We don't have him on. David, I believe it's David Solis.
David Solis.
Solis. Okay. They had him listed 6 foot, 300 pounds. So that's a big old boy playing Class 2A football. Talk a little bit about him.
Well, we just last year he played all over the place for us, guard, tackle. This year we're moving to center. He's going to anchor our line. David's big and strong. He's not fleet of foot, but he's big and strong. Good kid. Last year he really took command of the offensive line, and so that's the reason why we decided to move him in the middle. Defensively, he'll play inside. He'll play. We run a 4-3 defense, so he'll run a 3 or a 2-eye, depending on where the string's called. But he'll be inside. But yeah, real good kid. Real hard worker.
Good. Yeah, defense. You mentioned you're going to run a 4-3. Now is that goes last year? Was that your first year, Coach, there at Crooked Oak?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically same defense as last year.
Yeah.
Same system, everything. Everybody's familiar with it, and nothing. Yeah. No new surprises or anything like that.
No, my first hire was his name's Daevion Horton. We coached together at Mount St. Mary's. He's and I say this truthfully. I think he's one of the best defense coordinators in the state. That guy, he knows football, and I give it all to him. I like defense, and I believe defense wins championships, but I'm not going to get in his way. He knows what he's doing. That defense is really, they're on the ball this year. So I let him run the show, and I stay out of his way.
Yeah, and jumping into this district, Class 2A3, it's a gauntlet. Each week you're gonna run into some stiff competition. The Purcells, the Washingtons. Those are two rivalries, big time rivalries that Lindsay has, and it's a tough district. It's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. That the top four there. I think just reading up on you guys, very easily you guys could, make that jump from, a 1-8 season last year to somehow sneaking into that bottom, that top four and actually getting into the playoffs. So with the amount of experience you guys have coming back, that's something you guys got to be excited about. But got to ask you, Daevion, what offense or defense if you had to pick one?
I would go offense.
Offense, okay.
Yeah.
Pablo, how about you, big guy? Offense or defense?
I think
Pablo?
I think his feet's cutting in and out. I've been kind of watching it there. It freezes up and then it comes back. So
I'll answer for Pablo.
there he is.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
But Pablo, I mean, I think he thinks he's an offensive player, but that cat's a defensive player. There's no doubt. I mean, he is an unbelievable defensive end. We got you back, Pablo. Sorry about that. He's an unbelievable defensive end. He does everything we ask of him up there, and he is not afraid of contact. He's not afraid of contact. He plays tight end for us on the other side of the ball, and then he's very good there too. Don't get me wrong, but that cat's a defensive end.
Well, being 6 foot, you're listed at 6'4", 220 pounds. I mean, that's a load coming off the edge. So I mean that's something that Lindsey's definitely going to want to pay attention to. Later on towards it is the end of the season, last regular season last regular season ball game. But 6'4", I mean that's got to be pretty comforting for Daevion to have such a large target out there. At 6'4", I'm sure being that lengthy, probably got a pretty good arms wingspan on him as well. Able to go up and high point some of them balls, back corner fade, something like that, something back corner, just let him go get the thing. So that's a big plus.
We participate in quite a bit of 7-on-7 this year, and those two definitely they hooked up a lot. They looked really sharp, and we have quite a few other boys that we get involved in there. But there's no doubt that Pablo could be a favorite.
Right.
I mean, just such a big body and plays basketball, so he's got soft hands and can jump. So he's a great player.
So Friday, last Friday, that was first full pad practice. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how'd that go? I mean, everybody healthy. Felt good. Get back out there. Pads are popping and just kind of get back in the groove of things.
We unfortunately lost. It's a freshman. I mean, and I don't want to downplay, but we lost a kid already. Day one from contact. But where we're at, with the rule of 4 days in helmets and before you go full pads, we got a majority of our team in there on Friday with full pads, but there's still quite a few that weren't allowed to due to that rule. But I'll tell you, I mean, last year we didn't start with our kids till the first day of school, which for us is tomorrow. So you can imagine we lost 7 days of practice last year. So we were far behind. We're light years ahead of what we were last year.
Yeah, I mean that starts you off like you were fixing to say. I think kind of behind the 8 ball just to start things off. You're roughly a week behind schedule, and there's a lot that can go on in those that first week of practice and kind of getting back into the groove of things. So yeah, hate that for last year, but that is promising. That's good news that you guys are back on the schedule this year. So how many guys do you have go out up there at Crooked Oak?
Typically, like we finished the season. We started with 30, I think 32, 35 guys last year. Finished with 25. It was just a lot of getting used to. This year, we've been averaging about 30 at each practice. But like tomorrow, first day of school, we'll get 10 or 15 kids that are going to play. That there'll be a few of them that'll give us significant minutes, significant playing time. But that'll come. We'll see what we have tomorrow. But I anticipate we'll hopefully have 35 to 40 by the end of the season. That's our goal.
Right. As far as a junior high goes, what kind of program does Crooked Oak have for junior high?
So I run the program top to bottom,
Okay.
and I hired. I got the guy that's coming in and helped me do offense this year. I made him the head coach of the middle school. Extremely knowledgeable on the type of offense that we're doing. Which I already told you that's kind of been our weak link. Our defense is strong, so I wanted to make sure our offense is up to par. But anyways, having him down there and having that same terminology go through is going to definitely help us. Last year, our middle school, we had 50 players, 6 through 8, which was a big 8th grade class. That's helping our numbers this year. This year, middle school, I anticipate, hopefully having 35 to 40 kids in the middle school, and just being able to develop those kids. I don't know if you know a lot about Crooked Oak, but there's a lot of good athletes that come through the school, and our powerlifting program is unbelievable. We finished one district 2 years ago, one region 2 years ago. Last year we were runner up. We had multiple state qualifiers, and that program is in the junior high too. Last year in our junior high, we had a state champion, a runner up, a couple third place finishers. So we have a strong program that we're developing down there, and I tell everybody that's where we win eventually. And that's how we turn this thing around, is through our junior high program.
Absolutely. That's what I was fixing to say, Coach. I mean, your successful programs, it seems like throughout the state. I don't care if it's Class C up into Class 6A, or 6A1 or 6A2. It starts with those youngsters and having a big number. That's like last night we talked with Coach Cup down there at Atoka, and I asked him the same question I asked you. I'll probably ask every coach we have the opportunity to talk with, just what exactly is the state of the junior high program, because I believe at the end of the day, your junior high program, that's your foundation, and keeping those guys together, the 6th, 7th, 8th grade level, and then once they're up in 9, 10, 11, 12, they're all still together. I understand, there's coaching changes here and here. Coaches take other jobs and stuff like that, or unfortunately lose their jobs. So there might be some, learning curves, new offense, new defense from time to time. But if you can start at that junior high level and just continue to build year in after year after year after year, that's where I think you really see your successful programs flourish once they're all in high school together. And that's, like we kind of touched on Marlowe last night. I think they had 83 guys on their roster last year. And this is a class, playing Class 2A. Of course, they eventually go on and win a state championship, knock off Washington. That's a ton of kids. And darn well it probably started at that at the junior high level and just continue to build. So that's good. That's definitely that's good to hear that you guys have a solid junior high program.
Yeah, I was on staff at OCS and for quite a few years, and that was we always developed. I was an assistant there and working with the junior high there and teaching the same system. That's what it is. It's about consistency and the terminology and what the expectations are. And you don't see it immediately, but like I can tell you right now, our freshman class coming in, it's changing the culture. When our freshman boys are seniors, I'm not taking anything away from our senior boys right now, but they're building. Our senior boys are building foundation now. But when that freshman group gets through there, you're probably going to see a different Crooked Oak, and that's good. It just takes time and building that middle school. And we're actually trying to go to the elementary. I'm working with our superintendent on trying to develop an elementary K-5 program. Just start with flag football, and then get into the tackle leagues in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Because we got to teach the kids to love the sport and get them out. So
absolutely, yeah.
I have a quick question for Daevion. I wanted Daevion, and now correct me if I'm wrong. You're a senior, correct, Daevion?
Yeah.
Just, if you don't mind, just talk to us a little bit about being the captain of the team, being the leader of the team. Talk to us a little bit about that. This is your senior year, so and it sounds like you guys are really on the upswing of things, and you'd missed some games last year. So talk to us a little bit about being the leader of the team.
Being a leader of a team, it's kind of fun because everybody look up to you, and whatever you do, everybody just like backtrack off of it. And as a leader, I just try to keep everybody like working their hardest, and I try to work my hardest too, so they could see that and they could like feed off the energy from what I do. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
being a senior leader, man. I mean, you've been there. You've gone through the. I forget. I didn't look back any further than just last year. But you've been through some rough stretch there at Crooked Oak, and now being a senior, obviously you definitely don't want to have a losing season. And with what Coach Smith was kind of talking about, and Robert kind of alluded to there, you guys seem to be on the up and up. Like I said, it is going to be a tough district, and not just for you guys. I'm not saying for Crooked Oak. I'm talking top to bottom. I think 2A3 is one of the better districts in all of Class 2A. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man, just continue to do that. Be that senior leader, and those youngsters, man, they all they look up to you, man. So,
It looks
Those
like
boys, those
Pablo. Are
seniors
you back
definitely
with us,
change it.
brother?
Yeah, I am.
You
It
can
kicked
you
me out
hear us
earlier.
now?
Yeah, I was able to hear you guys the whole time. I guess my
Oh,
microphone
okay.
wasn't picking up my audio.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, before we ask you any questions, we've got a little something for you. I don't know if Coach talked to you about what we're doing here, but Jake, the other guy, he's not quite as ugly as me. Got a beard that's not quite as long as mine on the podcast here that's talking. He's one of my partners in this business, and another partner of mine, Eric Dotson. We're all three. Started this thing, and we wanted to start it. We all have day jobs, and we just kind of started this as a business to advertise and to try to promote youth and to try to help some people, some of the kids along the way. And one of the things that we do, we do lots of fundraisers and things like that to try to help the youth in the community. And one of the things that we had talked about when we decided to start this business was we wanted to do we wanted to pick out kids that were active, and just kids that were really going out of their way, and kids, basically kids that we see that are going to go places. And it was actually, we were going to call it the Heart of a Leopard Award. And and it was going to be local kids, but basically, so what happens, Pablo? I make the phone call to Coach, and I say, "Hey, Coach, we want to interview you and a couple of kids," and he's telling me about you two guys, and so Coach is telling me, he says, "Hey, Pablo, this guy works his tail off. He's got basically a full-time job. He plays basketball, soccer, helps his siblings, and." Senior class president, just man, as soon as Coach tells me this, I'm like, these are the type of kids we were talking about whenever we decided to start this whole deal. And so we basically we want to try to we want to give you a little bit of cash to kind of help you get some gas money and things like that. So if Coach is all right here in the next few days, I'm going to make the trip up, and we're going to we've got a gift card for you for some gas money, and I'd like to take a picture with you, and I'm going to hang it right back here on my wall. And because son, I'm going to tell you something. I know you're going to go somewhere. You're going to do big things. And I want to have that picture of me and you there on my office wall.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. I really
Yes,
do.
sir. So we've got a gift card for $250 that I'm gonna bring up, and try to help you. Help you. Maybe you won't have to work at quite as many hours, and you can put in a little bit more time on the football field.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I really do, from the bottom of my heart, dude. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
it, man.
So I look forward to meeting you, and like I say, I'll be up there here in the next within the next week, and I'm gonna turn it back over to Jake.
All right, thank
yeah,
you,
man, that that's a that's a big deal, and that speaks to your character, man. That you're willing to sacrifice time away on the football field, and you missing some practices here and there, but I mean you're fully 100% committed to your teammates and helping out the best you can and helping out around home. So yeah, that's kind of we wanted to talk with every coach, before the season comes up in this district anyway. But yeah, we kind of heard that story and thought, man, that's a kid that we really we want to meet you and help you out any way we can, and just kudos to you, big guy, for sticking it out and doing what you got to do. And yeah, we're here for you, man. Hopefully, if I don't get to make the trip up with Robert here in the next week or so, look forward to meeting you there. Last week of the season, I'll make it a point to get down and shake your hand, dude.
I think it's froze up on it.
Did we lose him again?
In and out.
We appreciate that, guys. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And hey, Coach, like I said, man, it's a school night. We'll let you go. I got just your first three, September 2nd, 9th, and 16th. You're going to play Crescent at Cassidy, and then you get the Wayne Bulldogs up there at home. So, anything about those three just yet, or is we still a little too early?
Yeah. I got film on from last year. Crescent, same coaching staff. They may make some few changes, but usually us old guys are kind of stuck in our ways. So he I'm feeling that he might change a little bit up, but we've been watching some film on him. Cassidy, they get the old offense coordinator from Community Christian. We're familiar with them. So, I mean, I expect to see something similar to what they did, but, who knows? And then Wayne, just kind of having a relationship with Coach Sharp down there. He's a good guy. He promised me they were down. I said, man, don't come in here and whoop our tail. That's. And he promised me that they were down a little bit. Because I know they have a tremendous program. So expect to want to be competitive in all three of those games. Give them our best, and hopefully just like to come out with a victory. I mean, this program's you guys talked about has struggled for the last few years, and every victory we get, we're gonna celebrate and hopefully build and just have a tremendous year. Hopefully those three, but that's nobody's a pushover for us. Just put it that way. Nobody's a pushover. We're not looking past anybody.
Yeah. Well, hey, Coach, guys, good luck throughout the season. Hopefully, everybody stays healthy and you guys have a good season. And like I said, we look forward to making the trip up there final week of the season, and hopefully, obviously by then it's going to be darn good and cold. But hopefully we got us a good game for that evening. And like I said, just hey, good luck throughout the entire season, and looking forward to touching base with you. We're gonna keep tabs on you, man. We'll try to do something, each week where we kind of run down through the district and how everybody's standing, this and that. And so we'll definitely have some tabs on you and keep track of you. And like I said, just best of luck to you guys, and thanks again, man. I appreciate it. Like I said.
And one other thing, Coach, if you would pass it on to the admin, let them know we're going to be coming up there to play. Am I right? And just let them know we didn't beat you guys up too bad. So when we come up, don't put us out in the parking lot or something.
We got a pretty decent, press box. Not what they have there at Purcell. You see Purcell, but
oh man,
we got a decent one. We'll try to make it as nice and comfortable for you guys as possible.
Well, guys, like I said, I appreciate it jumping on. Sorry once again, hated to have to bump it back to 9 o'clock, especially being, first day of school coming up tomorrow. But we had us an extra inning softball game we had to get covered. But again, thank you so much for jumping on, and best of luck to you guys, and we'll see you towards the end of the year. Looking forward to meeting you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.